Shannon Sharpe going back to ESPN? Ooh, what is this? Let's test America's 6th grade reading level right now, shall we? Stephen A. Smith calls Shannon Sharpe's possible return to ESPN a work in progress. I wish I had him back. Ooh, let's talk through this right now. So, ESPN parted ways with Shannon Sharpe after his against him, and it sounds like Stephen A. Smith will be in favor of bringing him back. It's been nearly 1 year since Sharpe was and opted to stay away from his ESPN responsibilities. Sharpe settled the $50 million lawsuit against him last summer, but ESPN still decided against welcoming the Pro Football Hall of Famer back to First Take. Well, Monday afternoon, a listener called Smith's Sirius XM show on Mad Dog Sports Radio and mentioned they would love for him to bring Sharpe back to First Take. And it sounds like Smith agrees. It's just not his decision to make. Quote, "That's my boy. I got nothing but love for him. I wish I had him back," Smith said. A little too much baritone, but we'll try. "That's going to always be my boy, my whole crew, Ryan Clark and Swagoo and everybody in between. I got nothing but love for all these brothers. So they always know they welcome on any platform that I have, but I don't make all the decisions. I make them here on my radio show. I make them on my YouTube channel. ESPN, not so much. That's the challenge. But you know, it's a work in progress." Now, he mentioned this at the Super Bowl before, and we all took notice of that. At the same time, he put the hands up like, look, it's not only not in my control, but also, I don't think it's happening right now. We shouldn't even talk about it. Shannon Sharpe made mention of it at the Super Bowl, trying to get it out there. Concerted effort, maybe. We're going to put all this stuff together at the end of the video, trust me. So referring to Shannon Sharpe's status with ESPN as work in progress implies Stephen A. Smith may have had conversations about bringing him back to First Take. Now, one thing that happens in the business, as you guys know, I'm sure, is when a show comes to light, it's been in the works forever. Think about it. An overnight success takes forever. You know what I mean? It takes a long time to build up the concept, to build up the show, to build up the production crew, all that. It takes time. So if you're going to make something happen, especially for football season, it's going to take time in the off season to build that up. So when Sharpe announced he was stepping away from ESPN amid the against him last April, he was also sharing plans of returning before the NFL season. Sharpe ultimately settled the lawsuit in late July, which may have been too close to the start of the season for ESPN to truly consider bringing him back. Think about it. They're up against it right now. They're like, we're trying to read the tea leaves. We're trying to see the court of public opinion. We're trying to see what these brands and sponsors thinking. Forget it. Let's just punt the ball, punt it. But if Smith is still pushing for Sharpe's return as we get closer to next football season, it's reasonable to wonder whether ESPN will believe enough time has passed to welcome him back. ESPN doesn't need Shannon Sharpe, but he undoubtedly generated more attention than any other analyst currently on First Take. And Sharpe equally doesn't need ESPN, but he should want it if they're willing to have him. Because as successful as Nightcap and Club Shay Shay are, being on ESPN still keeps him relevant with a different audience, facts, and serves as a great promotional tool for his own media company, just as it does for Smith's various shows and projects away from the worldwide leader. We almost done. Who is that? Stephen A. Smith similarly vouched for Michael Irvin to return to First Take after his latest legal issue 2 years ago. And this past season, Irvin began making appearances on First Take again, now that he was further removed from having a lawsuit against him dismissed. Sounds like Smith might be hoping to see the same thing happen with Shannon Sharpe. Let me get up out of here. Okay. Yeah, stupid. All right, let's talk about this. There are a few things that are occurring, and if you don't put them together, when it all happens, you're going to be like, oh, I knew that. All right, so first, Shannon Sharpe goes to the Super Bowl and says, hey, I would love to start working with Stephen A. Smith again. Love to go back on ESPN. Love to go back on First Take. Puts that out there. Stephen A. Smith, forced to respond to that because that became news, was like kind of out of my hands, right? That's it. He left it there. Now, if you fast forward to him talking to a caller doing his own show, he said, it's still out of my hands. However, it's a work in progress. All right, so let's keep going. Stephen A. Smith also is trying to show you that he's focused and locked in and now trying to put his claws back into what he has at ESPN because he's saying he just went out, no presidential run. He's not going to run for president. He's like, I ain't giving up my money. I ain't giving up this to go run for president. No, he said that to Sean Hannity. A lot of people didn't catch that. Whatever. That's a headline as well. Put another headline together, all from this same source, which is crazy, awful announcing. Another headline is, Pat McAfee is ESPN. He's the establishment. He is the guy because who led the free agency specials that they had this year? Pat McAfee. I know he played football. Still a punter, but I know he played football. But at the same time, that's something that Stephen A. Smith, that's something that if you want to really talk about it, they used to keep in-house, and Stephen A. Smith could appear on there or others could appear on there. But this time, they shipped everybody out to Indianapolis. You had Adam Schefter sitting there on set. Last year, Adam Schefter was not on set with Pat McAfee. Matter of fact, they were having this 100-day boycott. I don't know what the hell. But the point is, you can see in 1 year, we're going to shift it from being internal to now to Pat McAfee's studio. And then we're going to ship some of the analysts over there as well. Now, you couple all of that with the fact that Stephen A. Smith is starting to recognize and realize that, hey, they are starting to act like Pat McAfee's that dude. They live stream through his channel on YouTube, whether it's College Game Day or some of the issues that they have. They go to his channel first. You start talking about, some of the guys won't sit down with Stephen A. Smith, but at the same time, you see Pat McAfee constantly having these interviews with active athletes, big-time athletes, others in the industry. It's starting to slant a certain way. And if you're Stephen A. Smith, you're competitive. He was competitive enough to say, I want to be the highest paid, knowing that Pat McAfee was that guy. He's like, no, I want to be the highest paid. No slight to him. So now you kind of have no slight to him as well, but you're saying, this is my house. I helped build this. Okay, if Skip Bayless ain't here, this is my house. Skip Bayless helped build it. I took it from him and took it to new heights. And now, let's just be real. It's starting to look a little different in terms of the arrangement of this house. You know, the master bedroom. Y'all trying to tell me to move? You're trying to tell me something? Whatever it is, I think he is bunkering down. I think he is putting more focus, more attention into not only ESPN and what he's doing there, but his top-rated show in First Take. Now, all of that comes together and culminates in an experience where how can you get this show even to grander heights? Let's be real. You can't get more hot takes. The takes are hot enough. You can't do more of that, and it's going to be difficult for him to bring in the athlete, to bring in the person that wants to sit down and really give him what he wants. You know how he felt about LeBron going to Pat McAfee's show. He's sitting there saying, okay, even though that hurt and that was a personal shot, that's also a professional shot, and I can't take that sitting down, lying down. So I got something for y'all. It's the return. It's the return. Michael Irvin did it. Looks like maybe Shannon Sharpe will do it as well. We'll keep our eyes on this one. We'll keep our nose to the ground, and we'll figure out what's going down. Real spit. Let me know. Beat it up in the comments what you think. Think Shannon Sharpe going to be there this fall? I can see it happening. Matter of fact, I want it to happen. I think it is happening. I think they already told us that. Beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Blah, blah, blah. Discipline isn't complicated. It's daily. And I'm starting a 30-day hydration challenge, and I want you in. This isn't some crazy reset. It's simple. Hydrate every day, move your body, build one habit, and stick to it for 30 days. If you've been falling off, this is your reset. This is what I'm using during the challenge. VINIA Blood Flow Hydration. It's a 2-in-1 hydration solution. Premium electrolytes plus the power of VINIA for better blood flow. Better blood flow helps move hydration and nutrients exactly where your body needs it. That means better electrolyte delivery, more physical energy, and more mental alertness during the day. This is how I'm upgrading my hydration. The challenge is free. You just register through the link. And when you sign up, you get 20% off VINIA Hydration. And just for showing up, there'll be daily prizes, weekly prizes, over $10,000 in grand prizes. One simple habit, 30 days. Join the challenge with me. It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come. Oh, this is not hyperbole here.
Because I believe the purpose.
Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so.